you can do it too, right? Do not feel discouraged. Do not feel like, oh, look at the economy. I know a lot of times you're getting online, you're getting on social media, hearing the news. Yes, it's doomsday and it's all bad, the recession, no jobs are hiring, but just keep going, right? You have to be consistent. You have to have the will. Will over skill will always win. Okay. They'll train you, but you got to have the will. All right. Now,
China, what? Technically speaking, technically speaking, I ain't talking vegan when I said that I've been eating, making money on the side, but I use it for the main. I'm speaking in code when I tech talk that financial freedom. Have a seat, cause you gon' wanna sit up at my table, yeah. Plugged in that it, girl, IT with the cables, yeah. Network engineering is for you, it ain't no labels, yeah. Shaky with my passion, took a leap, it got me stable, yeah. Now I make 100K or better, paper couldn't fit a stapler, and I spend it on my passion cause I'm capable. Technically speaking, now I'm really talking vegan when I said that I've been eating, I've been technically speaking. Technically speaking, China, what?
welcome to Technically Speaking, where we help you increase your income through tech. If this video helps you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more ways to boost your tech skills and income. First and foremost, I just want to thank you guys for showing up to this free webinar. I just wanted to give you guys some information. I've been having a lot of consults and they've kind of been about the same thing, same questions, and I've been kind of repeating myself with answers. So I figured I can just give you guys a full little rundown that may put things into perspective so you know the next steps. So when you do book a consult with me, you know the right questions to ask so you can get the right plan of action, right? So let me make sure you guys can see my screen. Again, this webinar is called The Future of Income, Navigating Opportunities in Tech and Business. So we're basically just going to talk about securing your financial future, how to increase your income through the use of technology, achieve that financial stability, and just position yourself in this, evolving job market. We know we're kind of going through things in this economy, and you want to be able to pivot, right? So this is basically what this webinar is for. Just to let everyone know, regardless of where you're at in your background, this webinar is for the job seekers, freelancers, side hustlers, entrepreneurs, business owners, right? Any of you guys who are looking to increase your income, regardless of your position right now. Whether you want a job, you want to climb that corporate ladder, or you don't. It's really up to you. Regardless, this will help you in all. Our motto here at Technically Speaking is just to increase our income through tech. And what we do here, the core of what we do is just educate you guys on skills that will help you increase your income. So just moving along with that, I just want to introduce myself. Some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not, but I am self-taught. I got myself into tech 2020, like 2019, the end of 2019, but I really didn't get a solid job until 2020. And I've just been in tech that whole time. I do not have a degree. I went to Culinary Arts, the Art Institute of Atlanta, and I did not finish. I dropped out second year. It just didn't make sense financially for how much I would be getting into debt, student loans, and then the jobs I would take in culinary arts. It just honestly didn't pan out. So I just decided I'll just cut my losses, pay the student loans that I do have, dropped out, and I started just working in and out cooking jobs. So I was at Chipotle, kitchen manager. I was a Tapan chef at Benihana's. I worked in different media companies in their cafeterias. And outside of that, I would work in call centers. So I worked at an Apple call center, troubleshooting Apple phones, really just turn your phone off, turn it back on. It was nothing technical, right? I even transitioned to iTunes where I would just give folks refunds. I worked for Netflix, teaching, well, not teaching, but assisting with people who couldn't log into their Netflix account. worked so many different call center companies, AT&T, all that, right? So my background was food and customer service. I really didn't understand tech besides power off and power on. Like that was my powerhouse. If something was wrong, just unplug it, plug it back in, which is still true today. It's still a good troubleshooting step. But that's all I knew. I didn't know the wealth that I had now. I didn't understand how computers work. I didn't understand any of that. I was a complete novice. Let this person in here. Complete novice in that. And so as I was looking to advance my career, which is owning a food truck, I have a food business. I would go out in the streets of Atlanta and sell my treats. And wasn't paying the bills like I wanted it to. At least for me to be comfortable to do some of the things I like to do. It gave me the necessities. And I realized that, you know what, something's not working for me. I need more money than what a call center can give me at $9, $10 an hour, and more money than my food business because it felt like a job. And I didn't want my passion and my hobby to feel like a job because then I would hate it. So I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? And I was on YouTube and I was just watching YouTube videos and I came across a young lady named Erica Williams. Some of you guys may know because that's where some of you guys got me from, Erica Williams. She was able to interview me. So grateful. I watched her come up and she, whatever. Anyway, so I watched Miss Erica Williams and she was like, if you need a job, get into tech. And I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, find a high paying job. You need a high paying skill. And usually that is tech. So get into tech. And I'm just like, okay, well, I worked at Netflix, I worked at Apple, I can troubleshoot some phones. Um, and I decided to kind of revise my resume to look like I could troubleshoot in a way. And this was, I would say, middle of 2019 is when I decided to do this. Like the summer, kind of the end of the summer going into fall, I decided to go ahead and update my resume. And it was nasty, janky. I didn't have no one mentored me on this, or I didn't find a template, nothing. I just, put it together some type of way that I thought was right, sent my resume out there. And a company contacted me from Indeed and they said, hey, would you like to be a network engineer? Now I did apply, become a network engineer for $20 an hour. I didn't know what a network engineer was. Never even heard of those terms before, or that job title. But I applied, they called me back and they said, hey, we'll come and train you, but you got to come to where we're at in our headquarters and basically work for free until you find a job. They find a job for me, but it, wasn't as quick. Some of you guys may know the story. I went up to the place. Headquarters was in Minnesota, Little Canada, very cold. I went up there fall 2019 and I studied and they taught me network engineering. They taught it to me on a very high level. So I literally had to go home from the working 9 to 5, the internship, and let me let this person in. And I really just had to learn on my own what they were talking about. Like, what is a network? What does a computer, what are computer components, right? Like I didn't know anything and I had to learn on my own. It was very hard. It was very rough, but what they promised me was free room and board and they would let me travel all over the United States. So that's all I had in my head. Like, hey, I need somebody to pay my rent plus a paycheck and I get to travel. So that's all I had in my mind. And because I had the willpower to say, hey, I'm going to do this. Even though I don't know how to do it, I'm still going to do it because I want free rent. I don't want to pay rent anymore. I want somebody to take care of me. And just hunkering down on that, I was able to prevail. And 2020, March 2020, I landed my first contract. Middle of the pandemic. The contract was only 3 months because they let me go because I made the whole network go down in the middle of a pandemic. It was at a hospital. I worked as a network engineer for a small hospital in Rhode Island. And yeah, it was terrible, honestly. First week of being on the job, I had bubble guts, right? It was because I was nervous. I'm like, I don't know this. They put me in this position. And ever since then, I've just been learning and been getting my own contracts because I've been, upscaling my money. The first contract was $20 an hour, and I'm like, well, I need more money, so I learned their ways. That internship was more like, hey, I'm going to put you in these jobs like a staffing agency. But for me, I was the only Black person. I was the only girl. So I decided that I need to do a little bit more than just sit here and get me a job. So I started to kind of infiltrate them a little bit and figure out like, dang, how can I get jobs on my own? And when I realized that the jobs that they were sending me out to do were $100 an hour, $100 an hour. They were paying me $20 an hour, but they were making $100 an hour off my head. And I just felt like if I can do this job and the company is really paying $100 an hour for my talent, I can get this on my own, at least half, right? At least $50. So I worked. So my next contract, I got $25 an hour, right? That was a year. And then I got another contract, $30 an hour. And then I negotiated myself to get $40 an hour. And then I just kept going, kept going, kept going. Currently, I'm sitting at $55 an hour. Not at that 100, but 55 is good. I'm just coming off of like a 3 remote job spree. I had 3 jobs I was working all at $50 an hour. So you can see what I was bringing in. It was lovely. I worked for Deloitte. I worked for Lumens. I worked for an energy company, really big name hitters. And I put myself in these positions. I negotiated. I did my own resume. I did my own interviews. And it was all just keeping, looking out, just really paying attention and really having that will that I'm going to get what I want. And that's my whole mission. And that's the whole purpose of why I decided to bring out Technically Speaking. Because if I can do it, a little old Black girl from Atlanta, Georgia, tattoos, I don't know, tattoos all over my body, on my neck, my face, my arms, right? So there's no hiding it. I'm gonna wear my hair how my Black girl imagine. I'm gonna wear my hair, I'm gonna wanna wear it, right? I hate dressing up. I don't know what business, casual, business, professional is. I don't have any of those clothes. But yet I'm able to be and work in these Fortune 500 companies getting paid 6 figures or more, right? Like, this is something that I did on my own with no knowledge, no background. I have no degree. I have 1 cert. I just started getting more certs because of the job I'm in. But to get to where I'm at, to work for Deloitte, I did not have to have many certs. So my mission is to make sure that you guys follow in these same footsteps. Okay. You can accomplish it. I can accomplish it. You can accomplish it. Right. I was making the most money in the middle of the pandemic. It was here, come get a job. Oh, hold on, I got some people that needs to be admitted. Um, you get a job, I get a job. I was just getting offers just crazy, and today, in the middle of what we call a recession, I'm still getting offers. People are still calling my phone. People are still sending me text messages, real jobs, not even fake jobs. They're like, hey, no one has your skill set, or I like your skill set. I like your resume. Please come work for me. Now I did get laid off. I got laid off to 2 jobs, so I'm only down to 1, but that's good. I don't need a bunch of jobs. They were taking up a lot of my time. And I just feel like I need to focus more on my business, focus more on helping the community. I did what I needed to do. I built some type of wealth. I have 4 real estate properties. I went ahead and made sure that I have a retirement account that I borrow from, but I still have a retirement account. So if anything hits the fan, if I do lose my job, I at least have a cushion to hold me over. I make extra income in my business, just doing little side things. I feel like I have like this Jamaican bone in my body because no matter how much money I'm making, I'm always looking at new ways to make more money, new ideas, new side hustles. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to follow my steps because ultimately how I got here was through a job. But if if you do have that entrepreneurial spirit, it will even help you even more because you'll have that will. Okay. So as we go through this webinar, I want you guys to really keep that in your head. I started with nothing, right? No background, no degree,